Hola amigos, it's Will here at Will's Custom Figures coming at you today with a big bad breakdown of one of my all-time favorite Marvel villains, the one and only Red Skull. So please guys, sit back, relax while I take you through why and how I made this and everything in between. So let's start with the basics. Here he is. Here is Red Skull. Here's a little bit of a hands-on breakdown. Lovely, lovely head sculpt there, as you can see, wearing his evil and very dastardly Nazi outfit. And why did I make him? Well, for me, I was not prepared to spend out all those, 9 months, 6 months ago, whatever it was that I first started making this guy. I was not prepared to pay out the big money for a half decent Red Skull. I'd looked around online on eBay and all these other websites, and I'll be honest with you, I could only find something that was far too expensive and out of my price range. So I started thinking outside the box. What can I do? I want this guy in my collection. What can I do? And I remember from looking at a few of the different Build-A-Figure waves, there was a Red Skull head that came with one of them. And it was pretty cheap. Didn't cost too much. I'm going to bring him down here. Show you guys a bit of a up-close shot of him while I continue to talk. And I found this head really, really cheap. So what I did is I had a little look around at what I had in my sort of goodies box with all my different spare parts in. And I noticed that I had, I think this was a Dean Ambrose WWE figure spare body. And the trousers were absolutely spot on. The boots were spot on. And it's a pretty good base then for me to get started and to work on my very own custom Red Skull. And a bit of a history lesson into Red Skull. So as most people know, he's appeared in the MCU. He's been a mainstay of the Marvel Universe for decades now, rivaling with Captain America specifically, but with all the different Avengers throughout his stay and his time. Recently had a fantastic figure made in the Bad Guys wave. Very, very impressive wave. The Zenmu, I think, was the Build-A-Figure there. I should know that because I've got it and I pre-ordered that Red Skull a long time ago, and very happy with the Build-A-Figure. However, I sold that pre-order. I prefer my one, not going to lie to you guys. So into the nitty-gritty, the how. As mentioned, I used a Dean Ambrose base. I then added clay across the top, and as you can see, I'm going to move this camera. The Wile E. Coyote cam. As you can see here, I've added a nice clay finish across the top. There is actually a seam there where the red line goes up to the neck. I've added in a collar and some buttons throughout, as well as the evil Nazi logo and some wristbands on there as well for some extra nice red effects. I'm just going to pop this here. Here we go. In addition to that, the time, well, guess what, guys? Time is money. As you guys know, I'm a family man. I have 2 children, and I don't have lots of spare time, especially with all the commissions that I get to work on my own personal collection. So for me to be able to work on and have my very own Red Skull, it's a luxury. It's not something I take for granted when I get an evening to work on some custom figures. So I probably spent about 3 hours working on this guy. I tried to match the paintwork on the neck. Obviously that was flesh coloured to the paintwork that was on this Build-A-Figure Red Skull head from several years ago that Marvel released and Hasbro released. So cost wise, I would say probably about £10 for the head, £2 or £3 for the fodder, which was the body. I also found this awesome accessory here. This was from a Jason Voorhees. I'm pretty sure it's a Jason Voorhees figure, and yeah, it's really cool to have this. It's like a sickle. It's not quite a crowbar, and I'm really pleased with how it looks. You may have noticed as well, there's a bunch of different Red Skull heads around this guy, and the reason I put these around his feet is because I took casts of the Red Skull, the Zenmu wave Red Skull, because I wanted to have different adjustable heads just for, how I was feeling at the time. And if I wanted to have some different looks for this Red Skull. So height wise, just before I finish up this video, he stands at about just 6 3/4 inches tall. I used a horrible dirty red for all of the tone that's on the neck, and I used a nice bright vibrant red and Vallejo paints, as well as Super Sculpey clay for the rest of the figure. And posability and articulation, the wrists move. I'm not going to move it too much because it will damage the paintwork, like with most custom figures. The elbows move, the shoulders move here as well. The legs do move, they're just on the normal hinge joint, and the feet will turn around as well for different posing. The head is nicely attached on there, and as you can see, pretty much get full range of motion there, but the more I move it, the more potential it has to damage the awesome paint job that I'm really pleased with. I used a nice dark black as well. I think it's called like granite black or something for the final finish there on him. And my final reflections, for me, this is the ultimate Red Skull that I want in my personal collection. I'm not looking to add any other Red Skulls in, and I like what the MCU and what Hasbro have done with recent figures. However, for me, he's that evil Nazi character, and that's what I want in my collection. Here he is against a few other of the absolutely legendary Marvel characters over the years. We have Colossus and we have Ultron here, and as you can see, he scales pretty well. So guys, please like, comment and subscribe. Feel free to follow me on Facebook and on Instagram, and please as well get in touch if you want to make your own one, or if you have any questions, or if you'd like to order one. Thank you again for tuning in, and until next time guys, peace.